Good morning, Year 6. It is Monday the 15th of June, and today we're going to multiply and divide by 10, 100 and 1,000. So our first question is looking at counters on place value charts to represent each calculation. So our first one, 5.6 times 1. You can see here that I've drawn the 5 as the ones and then the 0.6 in the tenths column. This hasn't moved as we're just timesing by 5, so we do not need to move it. Here, 5.6 has got 10 times bigger. So again, we need to move the ones to the next column, to the tens. So we have 5, and then we've got 6 in the ones column that's come from the tenths. So 5.6 times 10 is 56, equals 56. Next one, 5.6 times 100, moving 2 places. So we've got here from the ones to tens to the hundreds. So we've got there, and the tenths, the 0.6 to the tens. So it equals 560. Now remembering, even though there's nothing here, we still have to have our placeholder of 0. Okay, it's really important we have our placeholder as a 0. And then here we've got 5.6 times 1,000, so it equals 5,600, equals 5,600, and we've got 2 placeholders, 0 and 0. Okay, so hopefully that's helped you understand a little bit more, but you should be confident now with that. And next one, create a calculation looking at the number cards. So a couple of them that we can look at. So 2.5 times 10. Well, we know 2.5 times 10 is 25 because we're just moving one place. So 2.5 times 100 is 250. So we can just move it along. So 2.5, that'll be our first one, times 100 equals 250. So you have a go at as many calculations as you can get. Just going to play the maths video that will help you today with your learning.
Hello there and welcome back. Today I'm going to look at multiplying and dividing by 10, 100 and 1,000. And we're going to use a special chart to help us today. It's called a Gategno chart if you've never seen one before. I'm going to put 2 counters on it. So one on a 30 and one on a 3. So which of the 2 counters is the highest value? Well, hopefully you recognise the red as the highest value. So how many times greater is the red counter when we compare it to the blue counter? Let's think about that question. Well, comparing 3 to 30, 30 is 10 times greater than 3. And 3 times 10 is 30. And conversely, the comparison of 30 to 3, we can see that if I divide 30 by 10, it would give me 3. 30 is 10 times greater than 3. So 30 divided by 10 is 3. Okay, watch carefully then. So we've got the counter currently on the 0.5. Watch where it goes. We can see it's gone up by 2 in a column. Let's think about what's changed there. We've gone from 0.5 to 50. So we increased it by 10 times, and then another 10 times. So 0.5 times 10 times 10 is 50. But thinking about that in one go, we could think about that actually. That's the same as timesing by 100. So 0.5 times 100 is 50. Counter's currently on the 40. Let's see where it goes now. Okay, this time it's gone down by 3 columns. Down once. We know that's divided by 10. Divide by 10 again. Divide by 10 again. So, to get from 40 to 0.04, we could say it's divided by 1,000 as well. We could say it's 40 divided by 10 divided by 10 divided by 10, or 40 divided by 1,000. They mean the same thing. So 40 divided by 1,000 is 0.04. If you have got it now, see if you can think about how we do 0.6 times 100. Let's have a look then. So hopefully you recognise that the counter would go up by 2 to 60. So 0.6 times 100 is 60. What about this one? Now we've got a number made of 4.2, so we need 2 counters. One on the 4, one on the 0.2. How would you multiply that by 100? Have a go at that one. Let's have a look then. So remember, we need to multiply 4 by 100, so that would go up by 2, and 0.2 would go up by 2. So the number we can see, we've got a 420, which is 420. Let's think about using a place value chart to help us. Here's a number 31. We're going to divide it by 100. So 1 divided by 100 would be moved 2 places to the right, which would be 100th. And 10 divided by 100 would be 2 places to the right, which would be 3/10. So our number would be 0.31. We need to remember that placeholder in the 0. And there's our answer, 0.31. Okay, 3 for you to have a go at now. See if you can multiply and divide these. Let's have a look at the first one. We're dividing by 10. So we'll move each 1 place to the right. Each place is getting 10 times smaller. 20 divided by 10 is 2. 1 divided by 10 is 0.1. So the answer we get would suit 2.1. 1.04 times 1,000? Well, this time we know 1 times 1,000 is 1,000. And 400 times 1,000 would be 10. So our answer, well, we can see we've got a 1 and a 4, so the answer is 14. What? Maybe some of you at home might have been shouting at me a little bit. What have I done wrong? Oh, right. Yeah, I get you. Okay, I've missed something out. I forgot to include the zeros. So actually, it wasn't 14 at all. It was 1,040. That's better. Okay. This one then. 7 divided by 100. 2 places to the right would have been 0.07. Some for you to have a go now. So pause the video, see if you can use the symbols greater than, less than, or equals to complete the sentences. Let's think of that first one. 3.6 times by 10, well, that would be 36. And then 36 divided by 10, well, that's going to be smaller. It would be 3.6. So we need to use the greater than symbol. 4.2 times by 10 and 420 divided by 10, well, they would be equal. And the last one looks very similar, but it's really important that it's 1.04 and not 1.4. That one would be 104, and the one on the right would be 140. So we need to use the less than symbol.
See you tomorrow. See you later.
So Rosie, Amir and Dora are thinking about how they'd solve 4.2 times 200. Rosie says, you could do 4.2 times 100 times that by 2. Amir says, he disagrees. There are 200s, so it should be 4.2 times 100 times 100. But Dora says, well, I think it'd be 4.2 times 2 times 100. Who do you agree with? Let's think of Rosie's first. Rosie said it was 4.2 times 100 times by 2. Let's picture that. Let's times 4.2 by 100 first. We can see that would be 420. And then if we doubled that, well, double 400 would be 800 and double 20 would be 40. So that would be 840. Dora said it wouldn't be that. It would be 4.2 times 2, then times 100. Well, let's do that then. So 4.2 times by 2, let's double 4, which would be 8. Double 0.2, which would be 0.4. And then let's times it by 100. Oh. They're the same. Oh, so actually both of their methods got the same answer. Let's see if they're correct. Let's try Amir's method now. Amir said 4.2 times 100 times 100. Well, if I'm going to estimate 4.2 times 200. Well, 4 times 200 would be about 800. Let's see if the maze method gets us to about 800. Let's times it by 100. So that's 420. If I'm going to times that by another 100, I need some more space. I need another 2 rows. Let's times it by 100 now. Oh, that's a rather large number. So a maze method gets me 42,000. It's definitely not near 800, okay. I think Rosie and Dora were the correct ones, and I think Amir was wrong. Now it's your turn. Have a go at the worksheet if you've got it. If not, there's some material you can use on the BBC Bite-Size website.
Okay, so have a go at the worksheets. Also, remember to complete learning by questions. Really important that you log on with the joining code every day and we can see your progress and support you in any way. Good luck.